good does it get, SK?
Why not Australia?
Today, live from the Pinecrest Inn, it's the Smylie Show. So long, everybody.
This is the Smylie Show.
All right, we're down here in Florida. We got the Florida Swing just kicking off, and we have a great conversation with Justin Thomas today. Justin, of course, you've been out, back injuries, and dad back takes another victim. I know you're a father, sweet little girl Molly, but it's never fun to have to go get surgery. But why don't you just kind of walk us through what the last 4 or 5 months have been like for you? I know it's been challenging, but also probably been pretty okay to be home, you know?
Yeah, it's been a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of time. Yeah, it's kind of the best way I would describe it to people is in the beginning. It's like doing nothing sounds awesome until it's the only thing that you can do. Then it sucks, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, I definitely come to learn. Obviously, the surgery is very important. I was very lucky to have a great surgeon and Dr. Qureshi, but it just was the rehab is just as, if not more important than the surgery itself. So I took that very, very seriously, and I basically was on the tail end of any timeline. If something was 2 to 4 weeks, I would start at 4 weeks. If it was 4 to 6 weeks, I'd start at 6 weeks. So I know that in golf, I can be competitive and hopefully win tournaments for another 12, 15 years. So the goal is to get this completely behind me and not have to worry about it anymore.
All right, so JT, I know you've bent down to pick up Molly out of the crib. Was there any correlation between this injury and a basic dad everyday injury, with whether it's getting her in and out of the car? Can we tie these things together at any point? Because I think I was going through some back problems right around the same time you were, and I'm like, hey, do I need to go under the knife too? Like, am I okay?
For the sake of our wives just giving us a hard time forever, I'm going to say no. I think it may have to do with the couple million golf shots that we've hit over our life. So. But yeah, I mean, I've told Jill being home more and obviously carrying Molly more. Like I've said to her a couple times this week, I'm like, I don't get how you do it. I'm like, no offense. It's like, I'm stronger than you are, but if I hold her for like 5 minutes, I'm like, y'all, mom strength is real. And
100%.
Yeah, I'm not built for it apparently, but yeah, it's I'm not going to fully blame that, but I've definitely been working on my form as I pick her up now.
Okay, speaking of form, I have to ask you this. I know you've been rocking Molly in the middle of the night. I know she's much older now, but in those early days when it's middle of the night, you're sitting there trying to bounce her to sleep. Have you ever been bouncing her and worked on your golf swing while doing it?
Not in the chair.
The stand up.
Yeah, it's kind of man, this is terrible. Yeah, she's like a little medicine ball. You can really load into your right side well.
Just curious if I'm the only one.
No, you're not. Unfortunately, she doesn't. Well, she does have a mirror, so I can get, if I go a little closer to her crib, I can kind of check my position as well.
Yeah, on plane.
I haven't gotten to that point yet. Because I also would be in the monitor's view, so if I really would prefer if Jill would not catch me in the mirror doing that.
Loading it. Here, get a little lag right here.
It's not a consistent thing, but I've definitely done it a time or two.
How cool has it been to be a dad, right? I think perception is an incredible thing, especially for us as golfers and a professional athlete. You have to be selfish by nature, and I think once you have a child and you have more responsibilities outside of waking up every morning and working hard and finishing the day and recovering and doing it all over again, you have to fit this in the puzzle, and it has to be important to you. And I know it's important to you.
Yeah, it's obviously it's great. It's been harder than I thought it would be in the aspect of just the time. You definitely don't feel like you have enough to. That's not just me. It's everybody in planet Earth that's parents. You don't feel like you have enough time in the day, but you look around and whether it's I have some of my closest friends at home that have multiple kids, and I hate to give them credit, but I'm like, they're grinding, working, both parents working jobs. They got multiple kids and no help, and it's like everybody finds a way to figure it out, and I think that's the the coolest thing about it is there's no, I don't want to say right or wrong way, but there's of how you go about it. You got to do what's best for you. But it definitely took a while for me I used to not be a morning workout person, but now I have to be, in the sense of
tell Charlie this all the time. I'm like, I've got to get work done in the morning if I'm going to be able to work out during the day. If you don't work out during the day and you go through a full day of work, for me, sometimes sitting at a desk doing office work, I feel so bad at the end of the day, and it really wears me out, that nighttime routine. It's like, oh boy, back could go out at any second. Here it comes.
It's it's like anything. You figure out how to make it work, and sooner rather than later. But I think all of us, we've spent our whole life of like time. Everything is time management and getting the most out of our time. So that's just another thing that kind of adds to the puzzle and trying to be efficient. But the practice definitely becomes a lot more structured, I think, in the beginning of
it's a good thing, right?
Yeah, beginning of Molly's life,
right?
Yeah, like I would go out to the course and I'd go practice and I'd leave and I'm like, I don't even know what I just did, but I knew that I only had a certain window, or felt like I did, and now I feel like I have to have more of a plan, when I'm going to the course, versus like, all right, I'm just gonna go out and go home when it's dark, kind of like what when I first moved down here. But everybody's going through the same stuff.
What about winning as a dad? Having Jill and Molly be there walking off the 18th green. I mean, I just get like teared up just thinking about that. So maybe one day it'll happen for me to like a member or a member guest, and just have that moment. But for you, I mean,
I'm there, man. That'd be great.
Maybe, I mean, you just saw I'm swinging pretty good right now.
You are.
How cool was that, right? Hilton Head, that was an incredible week, and that putt at the 18th, the thing would have gone in a thimble.
Yeah. It's actually a funny story about that. So I explained. Can I say on here? Is that okay?
Yes.
I can replace it with butt if I need to. So I explained the term of making a putt that would have gone in the Nats to Jill, and she didn't understand. And I don't know what, this was like a couple weeks before Hilton Head, and I was like, we were watching golf and like Gone in the Middle, and I said that, and she's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, like, how big is a gnat? Like really small. I'm like, so then how? She's like, yeah. I'm like, so that putt went so in the middle that would have gone in a gnat's ass. And she's like, okay, I get it. Literally, we're flying home from Hilton Head. This is a couple weeks later. It's like quiet. We're sitting there, and Jill just hops up and she goes, that putt in the playoff would have gone in the gnat's ass. And I was like, yes, Jill. Yes, that is my wife right there. So funny story about that, but I will never forget that. That was a proud father. Like I taught my wife
Jill.
Something and she remembered.
My favorite Jill story is the one where she had a little boo-boo when we were climbing Camelback Mountain after a miscut in Phoenix. And she said, they don't call me Grace for nothing.
Yeah.
She's got tears running down her eye.
Yeah.
Grace is her middle name. And of course, Molly's middle name, Grace, as well. But yeah, back to winning on the 18th.
Yeah, it was very special. I think I remembered in Tampa. I mean, I had a 3-shot lead with 3 to go, and Victor, birdie 16, 17, I bogey 16 and 18, and next thing you know, it's gone like that. But I remember walking up 18 and seeing Jill and Molly there, and like it hurt because I knew that without some luck, I probably wasn't going to win anymore. But also with them there, it just was kind of like, oh my gosh, I felt like I had it. And so I tried to not look back behind the green for that reason, because it not adds pressure, but just you want to experience that. So it was great. I mean, it's like we go back and look at baby pictures, and it's just they don't, at this age they don't even look the same.
Grow up so fast. They change so much.
But it's I mean, I'm obviously want to have so many more of those moments, because
I thought you were about to say kids.
No, not at the moment.
I would have so many more kids.
Yeah.
Like, man,
full Cam Young just everywhere. No, but it was great, man.
Michigan at a 57% chance right now, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Houston. Here's the interesting caveat, Joe, for Michigan, who's the favorite right now. On February the 8th at 5 a.m., they were trading at 40%. Today, 57%. People like themselves some Michigan here.
Well, Donnie, exactly, because Michigan, it just vaulted themselves to number one in the AP poll.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
I have my own account. I don't need to have any. He didn't say any of that. So I'm of the belief that if someone accuses you of something and you don't deny it, there's a reason you didn't deny it. Because you kind of feel like they got me. And yes, I'm not going to tell you I did it, but I did it. Yeah. Don't you think so?
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, and you know, with the Clippers, Craig, it feels like Kawhi is on the island. We saw him ball out in the All-Star game the other day. Kawhi was very impressive, and he's had a fantastic season. I think when you look at the Clippers, if the Clippers record was better, but he's still James Harden, you would be talking about Kawhi as an MVP candidate. He's been one of the best players in the league in terms of how he's been playing. He's been fantastic.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Let me ask you this. Did it help or did it hurt rooming with Jordan and Ricky so much on the road over the last couple of years before you had Molly, seeing those dads in action and seeing how much work it was? Did it scare you at all, or did it make you more excited about having a kid of your own?
I mean, the idea of being a parent for the first time is, I think, pretty scary in itself. So I think that's. I
think anybody can relate to that.
Yeah, I think it was probably both. I mean, it was.
Like if Jordan can do it, I can do it though.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like a guy could lose his wallet 3 times in a week. So like, and he's Sammy, and he was doing great at the time. So I'm like, I should be fine. But no, it is great. I think we were just, between you guys and then the Fowlers and the Spieths, like we were just a little bit behind in the timeline of the marriage and then having kids. So it was actually kind of nice because Jill is able to use, the wives for advice, and I'm able to use you guys as soundboards or just watch and do what you guys don't do what you guys do sometimes. So yeah, it's all good.
No, gosh, it's amazing. And I know your relationship with Jordan dates back to a very early age, similar to you and I. I remember seeing you on the Greenville, Mississippi putting green back when we were like 12 years old. JT's wearing pants. I'm like, who is this kid? He must be a bit of a know-it-all, if you will, on here with this professional golfer junior event. But I want to ask, what was your first memory of meeting Jordan Spieth? Did you know him? And the first round that y'all played together?
The first time we met was an AJGA at Walnut Creek, actually. It was like a junior.
We played the same one.
Junior All-Star, I think it was.
I played with Jordan that first round, and I will never forget the shot he hit on the second hole. We started on 10. Matt Saravallo, me and Jordan were paired together. And it was a par 3, about 200 yards, and Jordan hit this flighted, like, draw hook forehand to 3 feet. And I didn't know who he was. And after that shot, I was like, I don't even know how to do that. I was like, is this guy good? I'd never heard of him. And we finished around, I think he shot 67 or something. And I go to probably you on the putting green after, some other guys around. I was like, that guy blacked out. He's definitely not doing that tomorrow. I think he shot two less the following day and won by like 6.
Yeah. Well, we played together in the final round.
There you go.
And,
okay.
And I mean, I was like a couple back or something going into the last round, but he came up and introduced himself on the range. He was actually really nice. I hate to give him credit. Like, he was very professional. It's actually weird because I've never seen him do anything like that before. So I don't know what that situation was, but he came up and said, hey. And then we played that round, and yeah, it was, he got me the first time that we played it quite handily.
and I would say a healthy junior golf rivalry began over the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
For you, how would you kind of describe y'all's relationship before y'all got into collegiate golf and just competing against one another, trading blows at different events?
Yeah, it definitely was a rivalry. At least I think when you're at that age, you're not mature enough to like grasp and understand maybe being happy for the person, but just handling it better, I'm sure. Yeah, it was one of those things that if he had a chance to win, like, I didn't really want him to win, if I'm being honest, and I'm sure he would say the same thing about me. But it was because it's you want to be the best of your age group at that time. It's graduation class, and it was like, I wanted to be the best of the 2011 graduating class, and then especially throughout junior golf, and then he was getting into the amateur events when I wasn't getting into amateur events, or like he made the Walker Cup team when I was hoping to make the Walker Cup team. So there was things that he was doing before I was doing and accomplishing.
Naturally makes you jealous.
For sure. So I mean, my freshman year winning, the player of the year, winning freshman of the year over him was nice, although it was awful losing to him in singles of the match play, the finals against Texas, because there's a lot of matches and things that end up terminating to where it wasn't the deciding factor, if you will. But I mean, we lost 3-2, and I lost to Jordan. So if I win that match, we win a national championship that day. So there's a part of me that'll never forgive myself for that. But I got the better of him throughout the course of that season, at least.
Oh, and so let's go back to PGA Tour start. So one of your first ones was at the Wyndham Championship. We used to always play the FootJoy there. So it's a golf course at least that we were familiar with as juniors, that they just happened to play a PGA Tour event. I know Jordan also had a good event at the Byron Nelson. I remember all of his boys were out there watching him on the 18th, but I feel like that was a year or two later after you had played the Wyndham. Is that correct, that timeline?
What's that?
When Jordan played the Byron Nelson versus when you played the Wyndham. Yeah. So like you had the first like big PGA Tour moment as a kid versus Jordan didn't.
For sure. Yeah. I was 16 because the winner of the FootJoy boys got into the Wyndham, so I won the FootJoy, and 16 years old, missed my first week of school, which was incredible, obviously. So I got to go play in the PGA Tour event as a 16-year-old, and on the Jordan topic, it is funny. I remember very vividly. Shot bogey-free 65 the first round. I mean, you want to talk about blacking out?
Dude, you're 120 pounds and it's soaking wet.
Wet.
That video that on the 18th hole they come back and show you in that orange shirt, black pants. Yeah. I mean, it's just the tiniest human, but shooting 500 par in a PGA Tour event. My
arms are it's like you could just like full hula hoop through a Cheerio kind of thinness, but yeah, so there was a weather delay, which there generally is there. So it was like I had to come back and finish the first round and then played some of the second round. But when I got done, I mean, I was in the top 5, I think, or around the top 10, we'll call it, after the first day. And I will never forget being in the locker room. There's no way he remembers this, Jordan, and he calls me and he doesn't really do that now, but he definitely didn't do that then. So I was like, that's kind of weird. So pick up the phone. He's like, hey, did you shoot 65 in the Wyndham? It's like, what? He's like, did you shoot a bogey-free 5 under in the first round? And I was like, yeah. And he just hangs up. And I'm like it was the immature 16-year-old, jealous of your, it's just like, did you kiss that girl? It's like, yeah. It's like, what? Just hung up. I mean.
much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Well, I ended up adding this since our show started here, Rohit, but his points prop tonight at 20.5 is the same number from the Iowa State game. That's a bit of a mistake, right? When we consider the gap in opponents here. I think Peterson specifically steps up. He needs to. I think he kind of owes this team a great performance.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I know that Florida lost at home to Auburn, and it's a real thing that happened. So you can't strike it from the record. But if you did, I think Florida's looked like the best team in college basketball for about 2 months. And I think there are a bunch of results that suggest that.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
I want to get into the class of 2011 because I think when you look at this class, whenever y'all's careers are done, and even going back to junior golf and what that class was able to accomplish, just the depth, the high-end talent, did you feel like that class coming up when y'all got to college was going to be a class that potentially changed the way y'all would look at junior golfers coming up as golfers that could compete and win at an early age?
It's probably not fair to say yes. I think we knew how deep, the class was, and how, we just had a lot of really, really good players. And we had a lot of really good players that didn't make it out of our class.
Palucci's the first guy to come to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. But you look at a guy like a Denny McCarthy, where it's like I played, Jordan and I both played a junior Ryder Cup with him. And like, he was a very good junior player, but he was not a Jordan-like name, an Anthony Palucci type name.
I think another fair one would be Xander Schauffele. He's
a
late bloomer.
Yeah, I love Xander to death. I'd never heard of him because obviously San Diego.
I would see him in the
State
rankings. He would always kind of be in that 40 to 50, but like he was never somebody that like popped for us in junior and amateur golf.
Yeah, and then just for where he went to college and us, like we never played San Diego State and college events, so it just was our paths never crossed. So it's wild, and you could there's people like that all throughout, not just golf but all sports. But it is, man. It was a deep class, and it's cool.
Patrick Rogers. Who else is it? Emiliano Grillo.
Grillo was a weird one because he didn't really go to like school.
Did he know what age he was?
He was, because there was a point.
What's your birth certificate?
There was a point where he was looking in Alabama, like he was going to go to Alabama.
Oh my gosh!
And I just remember because I would like talk to him on the phone about it, and like his English was not great back then. And I'm like, I got no idea what this guy's saying on the phone. And I'm like trying to, and I'm talking to coach. And in my head, I'm like, does this make any sense for Emiliano to go to out? Like this kid from Argentina going to,
Dude, and then his buddy Jorge Fernandez Valdez.
Yeah.
I think he's still playing, but he was as good as Emiliano at that same age.
For sure. But Emiliano was literally, I swear he was like a 2009 graduating class. And then the next year's 2010, and the next year's 2011, and I'm just so we claim them obviously the 2011s. But yeah, man, Ollie Schneiderjans, he's stud. there's
Rogers.
Yeah, P. Raj. I mean, him and I, we roomed together in amateur events, you know, pretty much every single week. So yeah, there's a bunch of guys.
What about your college recruiting story? Because everybody associates you with the University of Alabama, which is such a shame. Go Tigers. But you know, if it weren't for guys like Corey Whitsitt and Bobby Wyatt being at Alabama, do you think you would have ended up somewhere else? Were you definitely encouraged a little bit by going to play with guys as talented as them?
For sure. I think that the most important thing for my college choice was I wanted to win a national championship, right? Like I wanted to be around guys that I felt like made me better. And, you know, was fortunate to take some visits to different schools to where I felt like I had that option throughout different schools. But I mean, just Coach Sewell and Coach Limbaugh both were just like they made me feel so comfortable. And I just loved, I just felt like they were the perfect dynamic of like a coach and assistant coach of energy, of vibe, of what they bring. I feel like they were kind of the full package when together. And, you know, Coach Limbaugh would get in our and he'd chew us out. Yeah,
I've heard stories of the workouts.
Yeah, I forgot an umbrella one tournament, and that wasn't fun. I mean, we won the tournament, and I think I maybe won, or like I finished up there, but it's like I forgot my umbrella and it was raining, and I had to run some sprints, and you know, but it's little things like that you look back and like it sucked when you're going through it, but I love that. I think that there was a mental side of that really was good for us. And but yeah, man, the guys on the team, I loved being around them. We did everything together, and they were, I mean, just being able to practice with Corey, with Bobby, with Trey, with Stroby. I mean, freaking Lebo, just listen to Lee out there.
Willie.
Yeah, of course, Willie. I mean, Tom was so talented. I mean, there's just so many guys that like everybody just wanted to like kind of compete, chipping contest, putting contest, learn from each other. And so I think that was great.
If it wasn't Alabama, where would it have been, do you think? Did you ever see yourself at another school before, you know, Alabama was like, that's where I want to go?
I don't know. I really didn't have, I've never in my life feel like I've been able to answer that question. I mean, I very heavily looked at LSU. I mean, I would have loved to be on a team with you. I think that would have been a lot of fun, but for the sake of going to Alabama, there's just no way I can say that.
Nick Kurtz will receive American League first place votes this year. You going to buy that, George? You want to sell that? I believe we had Caminero, we had Raleigh, we had Aaron Judge.
Bobby Witt. He'll be there as well. I'm a big fan of Kurtz. No, we're not related, by the way, for those who are wondering. Okay, not as far as I know. I keep getting that.
You're a little taller than him.
Right, just a wee bit. Yeah, Nick is a.
Be like this, actually.
I'm not sure Nick would fill in his room. Yeah, that's something like that. But my only problem with him, I think he's gonna have a great year. All right, I think he's gonna have a very good year here. He's gonna be fantastic. I picked 12 in my points league. If he's there at 12, I'm taking him. I'm just grabbing him here. I don't have a second round pick, but I'm taking him anyway. My only issue is this: they're not gonna be very good, right? They may be a little better than expected. Maybe they approach 500, maybe. But it's tough to get MVP votes when you're not winning. All right, you're not in the playoff contention or anything like that. Are you going to be able to beat out an Aaron Judge? I'll buy. I think he's going to have a big season. I think he can get one. I don't think he'll be very, it won't be top 3 right there. But I think he can get one. Yes, I'll buy.
Yeah, I'm going to sell this. I was really I understand what the metric said, and a lot of smart people, George, that I asked told me that Judge probably was the MVP. But man, Cal Raleigh couldn't win MVP with that season that he had last year. And I understand all we're doing is asking questions about first place votes, but don't think there's a lot of love for the voters with Sacramento, no matter what Nick Kurtz does. I'm going to sell this.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
definitely some stories roaming around of us, sneaking / breaking into the windmill at National Golf Links, and those are true. No. We have some pictures.
What's it like in there?
Yeah, pretty old, really old actually. It was.
That seems like a great place to take a couple beers in, and
it was Smylie.
Okay.
It was
Noted.
really, really sketchy in the middle of the night getting to the top of that thing, but
it's a crisp beer.
It is. Yeah, we found out that, and rightfully so, they weren't very happy about that, but man,
It's all right.
we were kids. It was
okay.
we were very happy.
Don't put a windmill in the middle of your golf course.
Yeah.
with a bunch of teenagers out there.
Exactly.
Coming off a high.
Yeah, people were playing. The caddies are like, man, he's like, you got to watch out for that windmill. And all in my head is like, I want to go in that windmill. Like,
and take a couple beers.
Yeah, exactly. So we were fortunate to do so. Yeah.
Golly, that's so good. Any good George W. Bush stories from that week?
Oh, for sure. We had a great lunch with him, like one of the practice rounds, and then I think it's 10 guys on the team. So we had lunch, and then he played 2 holes with 5 of the guys, and then 2 more holes with the other 5. And the lunch was so great, and it was all assigned seating, and happened to be right across from W. And P. Raj was he's sitting right next to him, and he asked. It was kind of a free for all. It's probably like a Q&A. It felt like for him. Probably wasn't as fun for him as it was for us. And P. Raj asked him about his day on 9/11, and all of us were kind of like, I can't believe you just asked that. And he went through his day from when he woke up in the morning to when he went to bed at night. And
Imagine you could have heard a pin drop.
It was insane. It was like 30 minutes, like from the. When he was told, when he was in the school, the picture that everybody's seen when he's kind of sitting there and he's got the Secret Service in his ear. And I mean, I remember him saying of just the number one thing you can't do in that situation is panic, is because then you're the people that are around you are going to then get worked up and they are going to panic. And it's like staying calm and coming up with a plan is kind of the first thing I had to do. So, but to then, late in, and I think he's told this story a million times too, but to the end of the night when he's, in some bunker bedroom, probably in God knows where, that they thought that there was a plane that was flying, to where they were, only to find out that it was their own plane that was like security and watching. And he was just like so exhausted. He essentially was like, I don't care. I just want to go to sleep. And then they were like, never mind, Mr. President, it's just our plane. And so that was it. That was wild. But selfishly for me, the coolest story was I was in the first group that played with him. And on the first hole, we got a bazillion people on the green, around the green. And he hits his putt and just kind of happens to be, I'm wherever I am, and he's walking around me to go up to his ball to get to the hole. And as he's walking around, he just kind of casually says, he's like, you want to be on the front page tomorrow. And I was like, what? He goes, you want to be on the front page tomorrow? Sure. And he's like, come on. He's like, act like we're reading this putt. And he just kind of puts his arm around me and like kind of, looks at it, and I'm playing the part, and I look at it too, and then we're kind of laughing and keeps going. Sure enough, the next day there's that picture on the front page of the paper, and I was like, damn, it's not the first time he's done that. And then coincidentally, however many days later, closing ceremonies
So he comes back.
He comes back for closing, which none of us knew.
Wow.
Closing ceremony, we're all in line in our button downs, ties, and I kind of get this tap on the shoulder as he's walking by and just goes, told you. And it was W. So that's a picture that was, it was cool. But, he's the best, and he didn't need to do that I just was very lucky that I happened to be the one that was standing there. But it was obviously a moment I didn't forget.
What an experience and what a memory. Can't wait to get back to National Golf Links. Maybe sneak into the windmill. I might have to do that. But yeah. So I swear we're going to get to some good stuff about Jordan in this interview, but one last thing I want to ask you about when it comes to y'all's rivalry was when you got to the PGA Tour. I think for the longest time, it had to have been annoying with how great of a start that Jordan Spieth got off to and winning major championships, winning on the PGA Tour. And every time that you were shown on the broadcast, and I remember this when I think I was probably still either in college or had been on the Korn Ferry Tour, and you were just Jordan Spieth's good friend.
Yeah.
And there would be other people that would say, it's like, just wait till he breaks out. But I imagine you had to be just so annoyed and pissed off and ready just to like prove everybody that like, no, I'm really good too. Just give me a chance. That had to have been frustrating.
It was. I mean, being where I am now and kind of understanding how everything works, like I get it, but also it's like, I mean, I didn't really have a rebuttal at the time. I mean, the dude was winning tournaments at a some of the historic ages, winning majors at historic ages, and it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, I could be pissed off and I could not like it, but at the end of the day, like, I should go win some tournaments then. And I think it was kind of then of, I'm sure I probably started getting not snippy, but just over the questions and wanting to stop them. And it's also so long you can talk about the same thing. So I think for me, it was motivating of like, hey, like maybe I just try to be Justin Thomas and not be Jordan Spieth's best friend or Jordan Spieth's good buddy. And, I'm sure he got a kick out of it for a long time. And, but yeah, I was happy that I was able to start winning some tournaments and start making a name for myself. Cause it definitely wore on me a little bit, but at the same time, we've talked about it before. I think both of us are better versions of ourselves when the other person's playing well. And I think that, in 17, we had some unbelievable battles and we're both trying to win the FedEx Cup. We're both trying to be number one in the world. We're both trying to win tournaments and doing it. It's when you look back at it, I think it's one of those things that we both are better when the other one is playing better.
And it's the same year in which you're trying to win your first major championship at Quail Hollow. And Jordan was out of the hunt. And you've told me this story about how you went to him before that final round, go to dinner, and maybe just pick his brain a little bit. Just talk about just how comfortable you are to be able to go to somebody and just try to get some advice on how to get the job done.
For sure. It's something that it's situational in the sense of, it's like, what's the line of like, all right, this person's out of the tournament now. Like I can, like if he was like 6 back, that's I feel like, 6 or 7's kind of the threshold of like, all right, I can't like ask this guy to how to win a tournament because he's trying to win the same tournament. So, but he didn't have a chance, fortunately for me. Because after I finished my round Saturday and I was one of the last couple groups and it was basically dark when I left the course and wanted to go to Cowfish in Charlotte there.
That's a good spot.
It's so good. Spot. So good. And with Jill was with me and his wife Annie. So
by the way, that's changed now. Like now for the most part, like you're not going out to dinner on a Saturday night of a major championship where like you have to deal with people. That in itself just is like, I can't imagine being at dinner and the guy who has a chance to win a major is like the table next to me.
In his golf clothes from that day, mind you. Yeah, I'm there in my white pants and my blue shirt that I wore on Saturday. Like it was late and I'm like, Jill's, do you want to go to dinner? Do you want to meet him? And I'm like, I don't really want to, but like I need to eat and I love Cowfish and I'd rather have that than have room service. So, but I also selfishly wanted to talk to Jordan, about I was trying to win my first major. I wanted to pick his brain a little bit. And I think, it just wanted to be with my friend and in the sense of like making the setting or situation as normal as possible. So yeah, we met them. We went straight from the golf course. I'm literally in my golf clothes from that day, probably like my player's badge. Like, I mean, it's probably 8:30 at night. Like they had ordered. So food was there when we got there and it was a quick dinner, but it was good just for me. Cause I, asked him essentially, do you have any advice for me? Anything you tell me? And just to basically sometimes hearing what you probably already know, but from someone who's done it 3 times and not only 3 times, but he's won the previous major. He just won the Open Championship. Just, telling me to just be patient and just be myself is probably something that helped me the next day without really knowing it.
Michigan at a 57% chance right now, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Houston. Here's the interesting caveat, Joe, for Michigan, who's the favorite right now. On February the 8th at 5 a.m., they were trading at 40%. Today, 57%. like themselves some Michigan here.
Well, Donnie, exactly, because Michigan, it just vaulted themselves to number one in the AP poll.
Prediction Markets Edge. Only on SportsGrid.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
I have my own account. I don't need to have any. He didn't say any of that. So I'm of the belief that if someone accuses you of something and you don't deny it, there's a reason you didn't deny it. Because you kind of feel like they got me. And yes, I'm not going to tell you I did it, but I did it. Yeah. Don't you think so?
The Craig Carden Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, and with the Clippers, Craig, it feels like Kawhi is on an island. We saw him ball out in the All-Star game the other day. Kawhi was very impressive, and he's had a fantastic season. I think when you look at the Clippers, if the Clippers' record was better, but he's still a James Harden, you would be talking about Kawhi as an MVP candidate. He's been one of the best players in the league in terms of how he's been playing. He's been fantastic.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Nice and comfy here. This is short-sighted.
Hello.
This is really, it
feels short-sighted.
Short-sighted, yeah, doesn't it? It's very intimate here. We're gonna do a little lightning round to close this thing out, JT.
Okay.
First place we're gonna start is seen some videos of you. This is like 2019. Swing the golf club left-handed. We take you over.
Oh,
to
it's like you and
National.
Rick were like
That's
going.
right.
Y'all were
Yeah.
like playing matches.
Oh,
right?
we did that COVID, yeah.
If you take you to Panther right now, what are you shooting left-handed?
What tees am I playing?
You tell me.
I mean, I feel I'm playing like member tee, like you know,
member
60, 6,500,
That's fair.
6,800,
So we're playing the
whatever.
whites.
I think I'm shooting. I mean, I'm hoping to break 100. I think I'm shooting in the 90s.
You think you shoot 90s?
I do.
Oh.
Do you think higher or lower?
The whole thing is around the greens because that's like if it's
bunker shots,
like flop shots.
Yeah.
Wind. Yes. All that's
a lot of
factor.
water. Maybe I'm not breaking 100.
I was hoping you get a 6-7, or that's really kind of been a theme on the show.
Not that cool.
Yeah. All right, next question for you is you're a bit of a shoe guy. So
yes,
give us like a manual or like a starter kit for like a lifestyle shoe, like a dress shoe, and a golf shoe, like the JT starter kit there.
Jordan 1s are my start. Like I love Jordan 1s are so comfortable. I have a bunch of, I like the high tops like with jeans and pants. I'm not quite the guy that'll wear them with shorts. I have before, but I mean, then you can go Jordan 1s with or lows with shorts. So if I could choose one shoe just off to wear forever, I'm taking some Jordan 1s. Dress shoe, oof, that's tough. I've been kind of forcing some loafers lately. I used to wear loafers, but like I got away from them because I love sneakers. But maybe it's the older, mature dad in me.
That's right. No, you're starting to be cultured, South Florida cultured.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get the guy some sweater vests.
Yeah. Wear some wool pants. I got a couple pair of like some Ferragamo loafers. Some kind of loafer depending on the outfit. I mean, golf shoe. I feel like I've been a wingtip guy for a long time, so it's stick with the dressy style.
You've gone the big dad golf shoe too.
Yeah.
Which I too. I like them.
Yeah.
More comfortable, I think.
Yeah, they definitely are. I wore them all probably the last year and a half or something. But I'm back. I went back to
back to the wingtips.
Yeah, it's me.
It just tailors the outfit.
It does. Just a little bit. Yeah.
So on the topic of style, I got a picture here I want to show you.
Oh my God.
And we're taking it back. We'll show this. We'll put this up on the broadcast. Smylie can see it over here.
I'm on the left.
That's an important clarification.
Yeah.
So meeting Trent Richardson here, I want you to walk us through putting this outfit together. We got an Alabama hat. We've got a white button down that's tucked in and what looks like some acid wash.
You look like a
here.
pledge, man.
Yeah.
What was
that belt is holding up my life. Those jeans would be on around my ankles. It looks like if it was not. This is definitely after a football game. Like that is the most tailgate football. I'm very much of like kind of dressing to where I'm going. You know, like I have no issue blending in. And I mean, it's a University of Alabama football game. Like Friday, I probably had some loafers on. Like the Friday the better. And always a hat guy, especially if it was a day game, which that was not in the day, so it probably was. That was outside of Hungry Howie's at about 2 a.m.
Great garlic crust, by the way.
Yeah. I was like, that's Trent Richardson. My buddy's like, you should get a picture. I was like, I don't think I should. He's like, I think you should get a picture. I'm like, okay, let's get a picture.
There we go.
I'm sure he remembers that.
So, and then on the topic of that, all right, I want you to put together perfect Alabama game day for me. Like you land in Tuscaloosa, start to finish.
Great question.
What's a perfect Alabama game day look like?
I'm getting in that day.
You're getting in that day.
Just landed.
All right.
Maybe like midday. It's like a late kickoff.
It's my day.
So
you're asking me to the kickoff time when I land, but now I'm landing midday and it's a late game. Okay, this is a fun game here, Charlie. Thanks. I'm going like I don't think I'm going night game. The night games are awesome, but I'm going like afternoon game. I'm probably going like
So what time are you landing then? Let's start there.
5 in the morning. What time's Innisfree open? I'm go with like like afternoon game, like 4:30 or something like that. Probably land like 11. 10:30, 11, go straight to Innisfree, just Irish, no breakfast, zero breakfast, because I'm eating all of the Irish Gold chicken fingers you can imagine. Wow. Probably gonna dabble in a couple Coors Lights.
Sure. Well said.
Then make my way, down to toward the stadium, go to Galette's, got to get a Yellowhammer there.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the game day scene. Then go into the stadium. I'm going Saban days, so nothing against DeBoer, but Saban's pregame speeches were the best. So I'm go down the field a little bit, probably dodge a punt here or there on the sidelines. Go down. You asked for this, so I'm going through it.
I love it.
Then go into the locker room, listen to the spiels from all the coaches and the players. Listen to coach do his thing, and then watch the team go out. And then,
I thought you were leading the team out. If this is like is this now a perfect day?
In a perfect day, I'm not leading the team. I don't really want that because I'll probably trip. They'll pass me very quickly.
Get that helmet on. You just little giants out there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think that's, and then
Hungry Howie's late night.
I don't know. I think if Hungry Howie's is good, but I'm not sure. I think. Yeah, I mean, chicken fingers are just
go back to chicken fingers.
Go back to chicken fingers. Maybe get some cane somehow.
There you go.
I love it. That sounds like a fantastic day.
It does, man.
We're gonna roll it back now to you guys were talking Walker Cup, windmills, things of that nature. What is your medal podium of Walker Cup venues? Because we just came from Cyprus. We're not far from Seminole. We were over at St. Andrews. You played at National Golf Links of America. What's bronze, silver, gold Walker Cup venues?
Do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now too, and what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago? How much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Well, I ended up adding this since our show started here, Rohit, but his points prop tonight at 20.5 is the same number from the Iowa State game. That's a bit of a mistake, right? When we consider the gap in opponents here. I think Peterson specifically steps up. He needs to. I think he kind of owes this team a great performance.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
I know that Florida lost at home to Auburn, and it's a real thing that happened. So you can't strike it from the record. But if you did, I think Florida's looked like the best team in college basketball for about 2 months. And I think there are a bunch of results that suggest that.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Because the show's got Smiley's name on it, so we got to get some Smiley stories in. I want to hear the best and the worst shot you've ever seen Smiley hit, and this does not need to be confined to professional golf. This can be like buzzing the tower on the Ireland trip. Just best and worst Smiley shots you've ever seen hit.
I
like where this is starting.
The worst shot I've seen Smiley hit that. I'm sorry, I probably tell every person I play Panther National with is he hit it in the pond on number 8. He hit it in this pond that's in front of the tee on 9 and 18.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's hard to describe, but he did it. He did it.
What was the shot tracer on this? Was it
it not only had the right blinker on, it actually started going backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, well, I was thinking of 11 that day. It was windy. Like, it was properly windy.
He was playing so
but
bad.
he had a hard time with the left-right wind that day.
You don't say.
The one on 11, was it you or the caddy was like, was that a bird? And you're like, that was your ball. That was it. But then he hit the sickest 3-wood, and then the sickest 3-wood onto the green, and it was. But I'm going with
shocking. Right?
I'm gonna go with.
I've seen it.
I'm gonna go with that. I think it was like a 6-iron or something on number 8. That one, I'm sorry, was the worst. The best. Do you have any that
What comes to mind for me is probably any swing I made that day at Oakmont on our practice trip.
I just remember putting. You made a lot of putts that day.
Yeah. I've hooped a lot when we've played together.
Yeah. Well, you hooped
and I played together at the Shark Shootout too. Surely we've had some good swings there too, right?
Yeah, I mean that 7-footer you made for our scramble bogey was a great.
Okay, there it is.
Because
I dripped it in. I was like, I've got to find a way to make this hole as big as possible. We cannot make a double in this format.
Toe double cross snipe in the water. First, I mean, this is a scramble format. These are 2 players on the PGA Tour, and
we're playing with Lexi and Bryson.
Yeah, just getting our tails kicked, faces kicked in, and Bryson's also side saddling, so it's just adding insult to injury.
Was he?
He was.
He was giving it that whole deal.
He was. Yeah.
Lexi's out driving me.
Yeah. So then Smylie has to bail out, and he bailed out. He hit it right in the fescue native area stuff. Then I think Smylie hit it in the water, then I bailed out. I remember we were here to a third from right of the cart path. Water goes up by the green. I remember I hit a sick chip. Like Smylie hit a pretty good chip to like 30 feet. I hit a sick chip to probably like 8-9 feet, but this hole is on a massive downslope. I hit it 15 feet past. Smylie just missed probably like 8 feet past. So we had an 8-footer for bogey and a scramble. I missed. And then Smylie hooped for a bogey for our scramble.
Love
the
that.
putt partner.
Yeah. I'll never forget that scorecard or the scoreboard when we got to like 13. There was no like scoring out there. So we're thinking, all right, we're going to get hot. We're going to get into this thing. And I think we're like 4 or 5 under through like 12 holes. And we get to 13. And I think I'll never forget, like Steve Stricker's on like 17 and they're like 18 under. And I was like, that's wrong, right? we can't be 13 back now.
We're last by a couple, right?
Top 5 though.
Yeah, we did.
Still got a top 5.
Yeah, we did. We got hot. We got hot
again off of a Baker strip.
Yeah. I was gonna say the other shot that comes to mind for you is that par 5 at Baker's on a spring break trip. I think it's number 1, 2, 3,
par 5.
Yes.
The hole out.
Yes. He
cannonball,
hits it.
Cannonball in the water.
He holes out for eagle and but it was like one of the there's like music going so you can't like hear
14
and all
hammers.
of a sudden like he makes it for who knows how much and then like you turn around and Smylie is just like this mid cannonball into a lake, into a pond that is right there. Like glove is on, like it just was full. He made it, immediately turned around, cannonball into the lake. And
was there like a wildlife situation? Like, do they have gators in Baker's Bay?
No,
or is it all
not as bad as when my brother down at the Jingle Bell.
Yeah.
He swam across the lake.
Snake Lake?
No, it was. But later we found a sign the next day that said "Beware of alligator." We had no idea.
Knowing luck, he would have done it anyway.
Yeah, Kaufmans aren't scared to hole out and jump in a lake.
Real shame they're shutting down the Jingle Ball last year.
You're excited.
Yeah. No, thank you. It's be shaking off some rust. It's been almost 6 months since competition, but man, I'm excited. It'll just I just miss competing and seeing all the guys. So be good to see y'all more too.
That's right, JT. Thank you, buddy.
This has been The Smylie Show.
I listen to this podcast. It's really cool. And
all of our local fans and subscribers, but make sure you like and subscribe.
It's cool to see what you guys are doing. I know golf fans appreciate it, but we do too, so please keep it up.
For all the good people at YouTube, like and subscribe.
You guys have some good takes, so I'm happy to come on and shoot the...
I know that Florida lost at home to Auburn, and it's a real thing that happened. So you can't strike it from the record. But if you did, I think Florida's looked like the best team in college basketball for about 2 months. And I think there are a bunch of results that suggest that.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
How much do you think tanking is hurting the NBA right now, too? And what we're seeing, like we saw with that Jazz and Orlando game a week ago, how much do you think that's hurting the game?
I can't wait until professional sports in the United States adopts a European model, especially like a Premier League model, and they start doing relegation. The day you start doing relegation, everything changes. Everything will change.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Michigan at a 57% chance right now, followed by Arizona, Duke, and Houston. Here's the interesting caveat, Joe, for Michigan, who's the favorite right now. On February the 8th at 5 a.m., they were trading at 40%. Today, 57%. People like themselves some Michigan here.
Well, Donnie, exactly, because Michigan, it just vaulted themselves to number 1 in the AP poll.
Prediction Markets Edge, only on SportsGrid.